Following Manchester United's embarrassing 4-0 defeat at Anfield, one of the darkest days the club has seen in the already gloomy post-Ferguson era, the club found the perfect way to give supporters a lift and change the narrative, officially announcing the appointment of Erik Ten Hag as their next manager. After weeks of speculation, United confirmed the appointment of the Dutchman on a 3-year deal. But why did United choose Ten Hag over Pochettino? And is he the right man to turn things around at Old Trafford? Beautiful Goal TV takes a look.
Oh, what's the finish?
Manchester United is one of the most successful and iconic clubs in world football and has a very clear identity associated with the club. But although they have won more league titles than any other English side, their 20 league titles have come under the guidance of just 3 managers, Ernest Magnell in the early 1900s and Sir Matt Busby and Sir Alex Ferguson, in 2 extremely successful trophy-laden eras under the 2 messianic figures. Both Busby and Ferguson believed in the importance of scouting and developing youth and prioritized giving young players a chance in the first team, something which has become synonymous with United. In addition, both men believed in playing football the right way, with emphasis on attacking play and exciting football. Most crucially, however, both were winners, serial winners at that. It is often forgotten by younger football fans that Ferguson was extremely successful as a manager prior to his arrival at Old Trafford, having won several league titles and cups with Aberdeen in Scotland, breaking the stranglehold of the old firm, and even led them to European glory, winning the Cup Winners' Cup. Despite taking several years to achieve similar success at United after he took charge, he was already a proven winner when he arrived. It is perhaps a romanticized and fanciful notion that United need to find another Busby or Ferguson-like figure in order to bring the glory days back, as the brilliant article by Jonathan Wilson, link in description, suggests. But it stands to reason that after the failings of David Moyes, Louis van Gaal, Jose Mourinho and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, all for very different reasons, United needed to find someone with 3 core traits as their next manager. Someone who has an attacking style of play, someone who has a track record of bringing through and developing young players, and someone who is a proven winner. United were rumoured to have had a 4-man shortlist that included Ten Hag, Pochettino, Julian Lopetegui, and Luis Enrique, but it appeared from the off that due to Lopetegui's inferior reputation compared to the others, and Enrique's commitments with the Spanish national team, it was going to come down to a choice between Ten Hag and Pochettino. Ten Hag's reputation has grown rapidly in the European game, since his thrilling Ajax side knocked out Juventus and Real Madrid en route to the 2019 Champions League semi-finals, playing a brilliant brand of attacking football. Total Football 2.0, some were calling it. But Ajax lost out in that semi-final to a Spurs team managed by none other than Mauricio Pochettino, who had himself gained a reputation as one of the best young managers in the game, having established Tottenham as a regular Champions League team and genuine title contenders at one point. Crucially though, unlike Ten Hag, Pochettino didn't guide his Spurs team to any silverware, despite being in a position to do so several times. The lack of trophies on Poch's resume makes it somewhat surprising then that despite his recent failure in the Champions League with PSG, where he suffered a meltdown at the Bernabeu, he was still named as the preferred candidate by several prominent figures in the game, most notably Gary Neville and Wayne Rooney, coincidentally on Sky Sports, a broadcaster Poch has worked for in the past. Despite Ten Hag's rebuilt Ajax team winning their Champions League group stage this campaign, playing some phenomenal football in the process, the United legend cited Pochettino's Premier League experience with Spurs and Southampton as the reason for their preference, stating that he knows the English game. A sensible prerequisite for a successful manager, as we all know how much experience Arsene Wenger, Jose Mourinho, Jurgen Klopp and Pep Guardiola had in the Premier League prior to their success. Oh, wait. Despite the public support for Pochettino, however, United were impressed with Ten Hag's forthrightness, confidence and ambition when interviewing him for the job. Prior to interviewing Ten Hag, it was widely reported that Poch was the preferred candidate of the players. Not that the players should have any input or say over who their next manager should be, but that's another video entirely. Poch was also supposedly the preferred candidate of the board, having been impressed by the job the Argentine had done at Spurs. But after speaking to Ten Hag, John Murtaugh and Darren Fletcher were swayed and even taken aback by Ten Hag's bluntness and clear vision for the club, with some sources even stating it was more like Ten Hag was interviewing the club than the other way around. After taking some days to digest everything Ten Hag said, it was unanimously decided that he was in fact the right man to lead United into a new and hopefully successful era. It had been reported that the fact that his release clause was relatively low, around £2 million compared to the reported $15 million United would have had to pay PSG to get Pochettino, also played a role. But one would hate to think that a club of United's stature would make such an important decision as choosing their next manager on the basis of cutting costs to increase profits and increase owners' dividends, right? Surely not. But while money may have been a factor, it seems by all accounts that Ten Hag was chosen on merit and that the board were won over by his vision for United. So with that said, how does the Dutchman stack up against the criteria for a successful United manager mentioned at the start of this video? Let's take a look. As previously mentioned, a successful United manager needs to have an attacking style, confidence in youth, and be a proven winner, which perhaps explains the failings of Ten Hag's post-Fergie predecessors. David Moyes ticked none of those boxes, other than maybe bringing through youth. He did give Wayne Rooney his debut at 16. Still, it wasn't really his specialty as much as hoofing the ball long to Fellaini was. LVG was a proven winner, having had great success with Ajax and Bayern Munich, and had great faith in youth. In fact, he gave plenty of academy graduates their debuts during his time. His style of play, or philosophy, as he so often referred to, was overly robotic though, and watching United in the LVG era was often akin to watching paint dry. Despite an FA Cup victory, he was shown the door and replaced by Mourinho. Full marks in the proven winner category here. And despite his reputation for buying ready-made stars, he actually has a surprisingly good track record of giving young players a chance, especially in his time at Real Madrid. After all, it was under him that we saw the emergence of Scott McTominay in 2017. However, style of play is where Mourinho lost United fans, and eventually the players too. At first it worked, because, the team won 2 trophies in his first season. But a second season, which saw Jose's third season syndrome come a year early, he failed to win a trophy and finished a distant second to Pep's Man City. Of course it wasn't his fault, it was just football heritage. Jokes aside though, strip the winning away from Jose Mourinho's football teams and you're not left with an awful lot. So he too was shown the door. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer technically ticked all 3 boxes, a proven winner, having won league titles with Molde, albeit in Norway, an attacking style of play, and someone who's willing to give youth a chance. We saw the emergence of a certain Mason Greenwood under his tenure. Not that ended well. But despite taking all 3 boxes, the job simply proved to be too big for the baby-faced assassin. And let's face it, the wheels had well and truly come off by the end of his tenure. So how does Ten Hag stack up, especially compared to Pochettino? Style of play. Ten Hag and Poch actually have similar styles and playing philosophies. They both like their teams to dominate possession, press high, and with intensity, although Ten Hag is slightly more possession-focused, which is unsurprising given that he idolizes Pep Guardiola and worked under him at Bayern Munich. While Poch's Spurs were a good side to watch, Ten Hag's Ajax side have been a marvel to behold at times. Particularly impressive is the way they build up from the back, using a variation of positional rotations in order to keep opponents guessing. They also use space incredibly well, with Ten Hag placing tremendous emphasis on stressing out the opponent by overloading one flank while keeping the other winger on the other flank extremely wide, ready for a quick switch, or overloading a flank by having both wingers occupy the same space. Ten Hag's Ajax are dynamic, creative, and always on the front foot. In terms of playing style, he definitely edges it. Developing youth. Having started out as a youth team coach at FC 20 at under 17 level before taking charge of the under 19 team and eventually taking over as head of the academy, as well as his stint as manager of Bayern Munich's under 23s, it's no surprise that Ten Hag knows how to develop young players. His original 2018-19 Ajax side featured several young talents who had come through the ranks under his tutelage, including Frankie de Jong, Serginho Dest, Hakim Ziyech, Matthijs de Ligt, and Donny van der Beek, all whom departed for big money to some of Europe's biggest clubs. Having had the team that reached the Champions League semis all but ripped apart, he rebuilt the side in no time, with the shrewd acquisitions of Sebastian Haller and Brazilian winger Antony, as well as bringing through some younger players like Jurien Timber, Ryan Gravenberch, and Kasper Dolberg, among others. Ten Hag clearly has a great eye for talent, but also the ability to develop young players and the confidence to play them in the biggest games. It must be said that in this category, Poch has a pretty good case too. He brought through several exciting young players at Southampton, and his time at Spurs was largely characterised by the long list of young players who developed under his watch, including Harry Kane, Harry Winks, Kyle Walker-Peters and Dele Alli, to name just a few. He also showed the ability to improve his team without spending money, famously going 2 transfer windows without signing a single player due to Daniel Levy tightening the purse strings as Spurs built their new stadium. But while Poch has a decent record of bringing through young players, Ten Hag has unearthed some truly world-class gems, meaning he just edges this category too. Proven winner. For all the pretty football his teams have played, the one glaring omission on Poch's list of achievements is trophies. Despite punching above his weight at Southampton and taking Spurs to their first ever European Cup final, he failed to win a single trophy with them. Yes, he won the League Cup a few days after replacing Thomas Tuchel at PSG, but even he would admit he can take no credit for that. He then failed to win the French League title last season, losing out to Lille, while his star-studded PSG team failed in the Champions League for the second successive year, and the manner of their most recent exit was alarming to say the least. At 3-1 up on aggregate, and seemingly in complete control of the tie, they inexplicably imploded. Poch stood motionless on the sidelines as Messi and Neymar strolled around, while Camavinga, who had replaced Kroos, was destroying PSG in midfield. Simply put, Poch bottled it, and didn't react at all. His team may very well be on their way to lifting another Ligue 1 crown, but everyone knows, at PSG the measurement of success is the Champions League, where Poch has failed, miserably. Ten Hag, on the other hand, is a proven winner, having guided Ajax to 2, almost 3 Eredivisie titles, and it would have been 4 had it not been for COVID-19. In addition, he has won the KNVB Cup, although admittedly, his Ajax side did recently lose in the KNVB Cup final to PSV, with his players no doubt distracted by all the talk of their manager leaving for United. Yes, Ten Hag did lose out to Poch in that semi-final, and his Ajax side surprisingly lost to Benfica in the Champions League round of 16 this season, but he has still won a lot more in his tenure at Ajax than Poch has in his entire career. Winning is a habit, and one which Ten Hag has no doubt picked up. So, that makes it 3 for 3 for Ten Hag. Pochettino is an accomplished coach and great man-manager in his own right, but Ten Hag is on an upwards trajectory. Pochettino's reputation has definitely been somewhat tarnished by his failures at PSG. Ten Hag, on the other hand, is unblemished by such failures, and is in a similar place in his career to where Jurgen Klopp was when he left Dortmund for Liverpool back in 2014. We all know how that turned out. If United didn't get him, his next job after Ajax would undoubtedly have been at one of the biggest clubs in the world, be it Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, or perhaps even Manchester City as Guardiola's eventual successor. United missed out on Guardiola. They missed out on Klopp. They simply could not afford to miss out on Ten Hag. But what do you think? Is Erik Ten Hag the right man to lead Manchester United back to success? Should United have chosen Poch? Which players should Ten Hag look to sign and sell this summer? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. As always, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to hit the like button and hit that subscribe button for more beautiful Gold TV content in future. Take it easy and keep enjoying the beautiful game.